Welcome back to AdvSouthAfrica. If you're new to the channel, I'm Rob, and today we're fitting an LED bar as a headlight to a CRF 110F. So we've got our light bar itself, a handlebar switch, and a fuse connection. Let's see what tools we need to install this. So here's the tools we need: a set of side cutters, a Phillips head screwdriver, an 8mm for all the fairings and plastics that we want to pull off, and then my handlebars use a 5mm hex key. Yours might be different, but just check that before you do the install. So let's go ahead and start pulling the fairings off as well as the number plates with our 8mm socket. Then you just got to pull the strap for the number plates. Number plate comes right up. You actually don't need to remove it all the way, but I like to have mine off just so I've got access to everything I need. Now before you go ahead and try to remove these plastics, just remember that there is a clip on the inside here. You just pull up on it, remove the clip itself, and then everything pulls off. Now we have a much better view of everything that we need to access. We're obviously going to be pulling the bar pad off, running the cables down along the frame, right up to the battery. Excuse the dust, this is from testing this weekend. So let's go ahead and remove this bar pad. Now I would recommend that while you're wiring, pull the key out of your ignition, pull the fuse out of the fuse holder. It is pre-installed. While we're doing the wiring, at least we know nothing's live. We put this in just before we test. Okay, so now in my case, I do need to move these down a little bit to make sure they fit. So let's just go ahead, pry them open a little bit, squeeze them down evenly. So it will take a minute just to adjust these clamps to the right height and obviously make sure that they're level. Once they are, you fit your spacer with your bracket, pop that in, and she'll fit right up. Then it's as simple as taking your whole fuse, shoving that through the bars, coming back around under the triple clamp so that it comes forward with you there, and that you can leave to hang for now. Your actual power that goes to your light comes out in front of it, and you can choose where you want to put your switch. I think I'm going to be putting, I'm going to put mine over there. It's at this point you fit the associated hardware with the switch. I always prefer to do the bottom one. I then snug that up all the way, partially put in the top one, and then it's just a matter of rotating it into the angle you want and locking it in. Choose a nice position and tighten that in. Perfect. Out of the way. We're holding this cable that goes to the light bar so that it can't be snagged by something. So here's what it looks like behind the switch there. Let's go ahead and give that a trim and reroute the rest of the cabling. So just now I pulled this wire through the frame. I want to actually go in, hook it with the original hook, use the small cable tie, just neaten that up in front of the fork tube here. Not too snug, but snug enough that it won't move up and down. Okay, so now at this point, we just want to go ahead, remove the battery. And when I say remove the battery, we're just going to pull it out just enough that we've got access to both the screws on the top. Just give that a wiggle. We're going to now connect up the actual wiring itself before we finish neatening it up. Cool, so that just pops back in there. Bracket right back in. We bolt that up and that's secure. So with regards to neatening up the wiring, we're just going to hook through this bracket that's already there on the frame. We'll put that cable tie through. Make sure it's nice and snug on the frame, looking good. Tighten that up as well. Trim that cable tie. We can then put our fuse back, close that so it doesn't get wet inside, and we can then tuck all of that away, and we can go ahead and reinstall our covers. But before we go and reinstall covers, let's test this thing, make sure it's working. Good. So the actual install is complete. We just need to go ahead and refit the number board. So there is a little bit of wiring poking out here. I'm just going to let it join with the other wiring that's coming from the motor. It'll be nice and neat under the sensor here. Well, there you have it. You have a nice, easy to fit light bar setup that's not invasive that you can put on your CRF 110F. Remember, you can probably use this on a 2013 and upwards, but the wiring length has been specifically designed for the 110F. Now, if you want to get your hands on a light bar kit, be sure to check out Rogue Minis in the link description and they'll be able to hook you up. I'll catch you in the next video, guys. Peace!